my channel. My name is Christy Yoder, founder and CEO of Smart VAs, a virtual assistant agency. I host a podcast show titled Delegate Your Way to Success, and every week we upload video clips of my podcast interview with amazing entrepreneurs that have authentic and real-life stories of failing and getting back up. In these videos, you will also learn how these amazing entrepreneurs built their businesses successfully while living a freedom-filled lifestyle. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing and don't forget to click the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. Alright, so let's get started. Hey, welcome back to the Delegate Your Way to Success podcast. Today I am with Eric Deckers from Flow Blog Service. Hey Eric, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
How are you doing today?
Doing very well.
That's great to hear. So I'm really excited to know more about what you do. Why do you think writing a blog or posting a blog consistently on a website is very critical?
Okay. Well, and this is where your company and my company are very similar, is we do have that time savings, right? So, and that goes to say this, Google looks at websites to see how frequently and how recently they have been updated. So when's the last time you did it and how often do you do it? And so it's called frequency and recency. And so a website owner could conceivably go to their 10 web pages. They got 10 pages on their website, and they could go to the 10 pages and just make little changes on a couple of them once a week. Change a few words, rewrite a sentence, add a couple more sentences. And I know somebody who did that. Years ago, I talked to a guy. He said he was in Orange County, Indiana, and had like boathouses that you could rent, sort of Airbnb for boathouses, but but on his little lake. And he was in the 200s on a Google ranking. And so he would go into his web page on every Tuesday and every Thursday and change a few pages, rewrite a couple of things. He did that for 6 months and pretty soon was ranking number one for like Orange County and lodging, or Orange County and places, something like that. But the thing that he was trying to rank for, he did just by changing the web pages on his site. And so you could do that. But Google has gotten smarter since then. And now they look at, are you adding new information on your site? Are you making the site better so people will want to come to it and will want to stay there and explore things on it? The reason for that, if you understand the psychology of Google wants you, when you use the Google search engine, they want you to come back again and use it again later. And so in order to do that, they have to give you the best experience you can. They have to give you the best website so that if you only click one result on your search, you go there and you think, this is perfect. Google found this for me, so I'm going to come back again and use Google again. I'm not going to use Bing, right? Or I'm not going to use Yahoo. I'm going to come back and use Google. And so with that in mind, they want to make sure that they give the user the best experience they can. So they look for the best websites they can find, which means you should be providing new information, adding new knowledge, not just making updates to your web copy. So this is where a blog comes in. So you could add new web pages and expand that way. And really a blog is just a web page. Like every new blog article is a new web page. We just file it differently. And so by adding new blog articles, you're adding new knowledge and new information that makes people want to stay on your website, which means Google did a good job in finding the best result for you, so you come back and use it again. Mm-hmm. So really, if you understand that, then you understand, why should I blog once or twice a week? The answer is so your website becomes that place that users want to go to and feel good about going to. Mm-hmm.
Hey, busy entrepreneur. My name is Christy Yoder, founder of Smart VAs, a virtual assistant agency. We have helped so many busy entrepreneurs get their time and freedom back while still growing their businesses. Now, I have a very important question for you. Yes, you. Do you feel like you don't have time to do everything in your business and couldn't spend time with your friends and family? That's because there's a 100% chance that you are not delegating. Alright, in my experience, 7 out of 10 entrepreneurs are wasting time and money because they do everything alone and they do not know how to delegate effectively. And if you think you're good because you're so used to doing things alone and working in your business, you're the most likely candidate to be losing more time, freedom, and money. But don't worry, because we have a solution for you. We prepared a free ebook for busy entrepreneurs like you who wants to experience more freedom and flexibility by mastering the art of delegation. Smart Delegation, a Fresh Take is an ebook we've put together with you in mind. It's a quick and easy read that packs a punch. It includes tools to assist you, strategies to empower you, and fresh perspectives to equip you, making the most out of such a simple key strategy, which is delegation. Download your free copy now at smartvas.online or click the link in the description below. Also, please consider supporting our channel by subscribing to it and learn more practical tips on how to grow your business without killing yourself. That's right. And even if you post a blog once or twice a week, if your blog is crappy, then it's still not going to be visible on Google. You have to make sure that it has certain elements in there like keywords, and you need to make sure that your blog is also complete. Like when I want to learn about cooking spaghetti, like if I type in on Google cooking how to cook Italian spaghetti, when I click on a blog, that blog should tell me everything. There shouldn't be a reason for me to go back to Google and read other blog articles on how to cook Italian spaghetti, because the blog that I first read, that should already give me enough information and should teach me how to cook Italian spaghetti after reading that. So, what are the important elements that should be in a blog?
Okay. So one of the first things that Google looks at is the keyword. So, Italian spaghetti or cook Italian spaghetti. And it used to be years ago.
Now I'm getting hungry.
Yeah. Years ago, I would have written a blog article on how to cook Italian spaghetti. And then I would have written another blog article on how to cook spaghetti. And then maybe a third article on Italian spaghetti cooking tips. And then a fourth article on spaghetti cooking tips. And then, because there's different types of pasta, there's vermicelli, there's linguine, there's fettuccine, there's rotini. I would then, wherever we put spaghetti, I would go through and I would change that each time, because Google used to focus on keywords and keyword phrases exactly. So cook Italian spaghetti and Italian spaghetti cooking were two different articles and were two different key phrases in Google's mind. And so we could sort of trick it by writing all these articles about the same thing, and they would have to be rewritten to look different, but Google would think they were all different things. Well, Google has gotten smarter now. And so now I just have to have those keywords somewhere on the page. Cook Italian spaghetti. As long as I've got them there, not in any particular order, that's important. So that's step number one, is what is my keyword or key phrase? And then I want to make sure that it's in the blog article roughly 1 to 1.5% of the time. And so what that means is roughly once every 100 words. So if I write a 1,000 word article, I should have Italian spaghetti or cook Italian spaghetti. I should have that in there 10 to 15 times. So that's 1 to 1.5%. And so even if you just, on your word processor, just do a find for cook Italian spaghetti and you see how many times that appears, that'll tell you. But if you also, certain blog platforms like WordPress, there are plugins you can get that will tell you, are you meeting that percentage ratio? So that's kind of step number 2. Step number 3, you want to use good photos because that adds to the user experience. And we talked about that. But then you also want to use an alt tag, which, again, if you're using WordPress, it will tell you where the alt tag is, and you just fill in a spot on the page. What do you want to put in the alt tag? You want to put in the keywords into the alt tag, but, and here's something a lot of people don't know, but you don't just stick cook Italian spaghetti as the photo alt tag. Alt tags are used by people who are blind and use screen readers because the alt tag tells them what the photo is. And if it just says spaghetti, they have no idea what it is. But you can say something like, this is a plate of pasta and spaghetti sauce okay, this is a plate of spaghetti and spaghetti sauce, period. This article tells you how to cook Italian spaghetti. So I always do that. And that's where I drop in the keyword, but I make it seem more editorial, more natural. But I always make sure I describe what the photo is so the screen reader users can read it. They can see what the photo is by that description. So we've got the keyword. We use it in the headline. We use it in the first paragraph. We use it 1 to 1.5% of the time, and we use it in the alt tag of our photos. And that's sort of what Google is looking for. Now, 10 years ago, when I was talking earlier about all those different keywords, that was enough to help the web house. Now they have gotten rid of that formula, and all that this does is it tells Google this is what the page is about, but it looks at 200 other signals to tell it whether it should rank higher or lower. It looks at, things like, are there videos on the site? Is the web page optimized for mobile usage? Does it look good on a mobile website? Does it load quickly? How good is the site navigation? When other people have come to the site, how long did they spend on it? Did they leave after a few seconds, or did they stay for a few minutes? Did they come to other pages on the website, or was this the only page that they saw and they left again? So that, over 200 of these signals, but it all starts with those keywords being used properly to tell Google what it's about. And if you can do that, and then you do all these other things, your articles will rank higher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are very.
So it's so. Go ahead.
Yeah, those were very informative. So we have the keyword, and then you have to make sure that you use those keywords in your headlines and in the paragraph at least every 100 words. And then you also have to make sure that you have photos in there and that you put the right keyword in the alt tag. Now my question is, when you upload a photo, does it matter whatever name you have, whatever the name of the file is? Like, for example, I'm uploading a photo and then the name of the photo, the file name is like 12345. So does it have to be like photo for Italian spaghetti?
I think that helps. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Because if nothing else, when Google does an image search, it looks at file names. And so if you've got photos that are Creative Commons photos, you've loaded it up to Pixabay or Wikimedia Commons or something like that, you want to be very descriptive of what that photo is about anyway. And so, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doesn't tell anybody what that photo is. A plate of Italian spaghetti tells them exactly that. And so just somebody doing a search, unless they type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hoping to find a plate of spaghetti, they're not going to find it, and nobody's going to search that way. So
Mm-hmm.
you need to make sure that the photo has that description.
Mm-hmm. Right, I agree. And what about with the length of the article? Does it matter if it's 500 word or 1,000, 2,000 word article?
It used to matter if it was short. Like when I first started, we would write articles that were 300 to 500 words, 300 words, not 3 words, 300 words to 500 words. And Google has sort of cracked down on shorter articles, like 1 and 200 words. They don't want that. And it used to be that we wrote short articles because people believed that nobody was reading long articles. And now we're finding that has been wrong all along. So an article should be at least 700 words. So most of the client writing that I do is 700 to 900 words. But I've got, there's some subject that I write about that I can't come in under 1,000 words. It's just, there's so much.
Right.
And I've got a couple of clients that want 2,000 word articles because more information is better, because the topics they're writing about, the people who are reading this are looking for this information. They're not skimming. They need to know all of this information. And so 2,000 words is a good amount, and they'll read it all.
Right.
And so if I'm doing an introductory article like, why do you need virtual assistants? That could be 700 words, and people will skim that. And so I'm going to write it accordingly. But if somebody wants to talk about, the tax benefits of using a virtual assistant, that's going to be a more involved article. But the person who's reading it needs all of that information. And so I'll write that accordingly.
Right.
So length matters, but formatting and language usage matters more.
Yep. That is super helpful. So, where can people find you online, Eric? Is there any book that you want to promote, or do you have your own thing like website, podcast, or whatever? Where can people find you online?
Okay. Well, first, you should spell my name correctly when you search for me. It's ErikDeckers. And as far as I know, there are 6 Eric Deckers in the world. And so if you Google us, I'm the only one in the United States. The other 5 are in Belgium.
Wow.
And we're all friends on Facebook. I even started a Facebook group that says, my name is Eric Deckers. And you can only get in if you're one of the 6, if you spell your name the right way. So if you Google me, you'll find me. And so you can go to ericdeckers.com, and that's my newspaper humor column. I'm eDeckers on Twitter. If you search for my name in Amazon, you'll find my books like Branding Yourself, which is about personal branding and social media. You'll find my book, No Bullshit Social Media. But then if you want to find my work website, that's at problogservice.com.
Awesome. Well, go and check out Eric if you need someone to write blogs for you. And if you need, not just to write articles for you, but to also help you be visible online, because that is very important. This has been so good, Eric. I love the things that you shared, and I'm so excited to publish this episode so that people would learn more about, what they really need to do when they post an article online. So, thank you. And any last few words, any wisdom that you want to share with our audience before we go?
One thing that I always encourage entrepreneurs to do is to make sure that your personal brand is as prominent as your business brand. People like Christy, people should know you. They should know Christy Yoder and who Christy is and what Christy does, because you'll change jobs one day. We all will. Or you'll change ventures, or you'll change interests. And if your whole identity was your business and that business changes, you have to start all over. But if your personal brand is the most prominent, people who love you and like you and trust you will follow you wherever you go. So focus on the person before the business.
That is so good. Yeah, because people are not just interested about your business, they're also interested in your journey. So if you are sharing what you are doing, not necessarily your business, people will follow you. Like they will be interested to know more about what you are doing even after 5 years from now, because they know that you are the kind of person who that does a lot of things that are very interesting and something that will kind of make other people feel curious about what you're doing in life. So that's really good, Eric. Well, thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you. I had a wonderful time.
Thanks for watching. If you like this interview and you want to listen to the full episode, please type in Delegate Your Way to Success on Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast channels, or simply click the link in the description box below. I am also looking for more successful entrepreneurs to interview, so if you are interested to be on the podcast, please click the application form in the description box below and we'll go from there. Again, please subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you again on the next video. Bye!